Hi guys, welcome to another video. Welcome to my channel. Today I am going to show you how to make a shawl jacket pattern and also cut on your fabric. Here is how you take your shoulder to shoulder measurement. It has to be from one end of your shoulder to the other end of your shoulder. When you look at jackets, you see that the sleeve part always hangs off the shoulder, so you take your measurements like this from this point to the other point of your shoulder. Now I will start with drafting my back pattern, and I'll take a marginal line up here, and I would also take a marginal line up here. This is because my pattern is not straight, so you can totally skip this. So on that line, I'll start taking my measurements, and I'll start with my shoulder to shoulder measurement divided by 2, and I'll add ½ inch to that for joining to sleeve, and I'll come down by 1 inch for shoulder slant. Now I just took 3 inch from the edge of my pattern, and I'll connect my shoulder line like this. Now I will take my armhole measurement right here. Now I will take my shoulder to waist, which is 17 inches. Now next thing I'll do is to take my length, the length I want for my jacket. Now I will just go on and connect all my lines. Now on my waistline, I would place my waist circumference divided by 4. And on my bust line, I will place my bust measurement divided by 4. And on my length, I would place my hip circumference divided by 4. Now next thing we need to do right now is to add darts to this pattern. I will take my nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2, which is 4 inches. Now I will take ½ inch on each side for my dart. Now I will take 6 inches for the length of my dart upwards and also downwards. Now I will just go on and connect my dart lines. Now on your waistline, return the dart measurement you took right there for your dart allowance. Now on my hip line, I will take 1 inch for sewing allowance. On my waistline, I will take 1 inch for sewing allowance, and also on my bust line, I will take 1 inch for sewing allowance. Now find the midpoint of your armhole. Now connect your armhole curve. Now the width of my neckline is 3 inches and length is 1 inch. Now just create your back neckline curve. Now on your waistline, you need to go inwards by ½ inch, and this would not in any way affect your pattern because this would give your jacket a nicer fitting at the back. Now once you're done, just connect your line like I am doing. Now at the bottom part of your jacket, you need to add your hemming allowance, and that is what I am doing right now. Now because the back is going to be 2 and you need ½ inch seam allowance to join, so I am going to add ½ inch seam allowance right there, also on my shoulder and also on the neckline part. Now as you can see, I have added my ½ inch seam allowance at the places I need them to be. Now I can just go on and cut this on my fabric. And know that you are going to be cutting your back twice on your fabric. Now here is how to draft your front pattern. Because of the color, I will go down a little bit and take my marginal line right here. And because of the lapel, I will take a marginal line right here. Now next thing I will do right now is I am going to take my shoulder to shoulder measurements divided by 2, and I am going to add ½ inch to it for joining to sleeve. Now come down by 1 inch for your shoulder slant. Now next thing I will do is to take 3 inches, which is standard for connecting your shoulder slant. Now next thing I will do is to take my armhole measurement, my armhole depth measurement. Next thing I will do right now is to take my shoulder to waistline, which is 17 inches. Now I would also take the length I want for my jacket, which is going to be the same as my back measurements, as the length I took for my back measurements. Now once I am done, I'll go on and connect all my lines. On my bust line, I will take my bust circumference divided by 4. On my waistline, I will take my waist circumference divided by 4. And on my jacket length, I will take my hip circumference divided by 4. Now, next thing I will do right now is to take my darts, which is my nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2, which is 4 inches. Now, I will take 5 inches for the length of my darts on the upper part and also on the lower part. Now I will take ½ inch on each side for my darts, and I will connect my dart lines. Now we need to return the dart measurement, which is 1 inch, back on the waist measurement. Now I'll place that 1 inch right there. Now I am going to place 1 inch right here, which is going to be the break point and where your button overlap is going to be, which also serves as where your collar or lapel starts. Now I will take my neckline. The width of the neckline is 3 inches and the length of the neckline is 3 inches. Now I would go on and connect my line. And next thing I will do is to connect a straight line from this point to this point. Now using my ruler, I will connect my straight line like this. Now to place your collar, measure your back neckline, the neckline of your back. The neckline of mine is 3.5 inches, as you can see. Now next thing I'll do right now is I'm going to take that 3.5 inches from this point all the way up, and I'm going to take that right there. Now I'll just connect my line like this, straight. Now because this line has to be slanted by 90 degrees, you need to measure 1¼ inch. This is 1¼ inch, or just turn your tape rule behind and just measure 3 centimeters. And I'm going to take that 3 centimeters right now on my pattern. Now just take that 3 centimeters like this. Now you're going to connect the slant to that line. And here you have your 90-degree slant. So now, in other words, this line is cancelled. Now moving on, you need to take the width you want for your collar. Now I'll make mine 3.5 inches. Now just take that 3.5 inches all the way down to your bust line, and at this point on your waist, whatever shape you give this will determine what the outcome is going to be. So you can go on and give it a sharp curve, or you can give it a sharp bend. Whatever thing you give it is your choice. Now I will just go on and do mine like this and just connect it all the way up. Now I'll just use my blue marker and highlight the important parts so this won't look confusing anymore. Now I will start placing my side seam allowance, 1 inch on the bust, 1 inch on the waist, and 1 inch on the length measurements. And now I will just go on and connect all my lines. Now I will find the midpoint of my armhole, come in by 1 inch and connect my armhole curve. Now I would add my bottom hemming allowance just like I did while drafting the back pattern. Now I'll place 3 inches right here and I'll take 6 inches upwards like right here. Now I'll just connect this so as to give my front jacket a little bit of curve. Now on this part I would add seam allowance, 1/2 inch seam allowances, and now as you can see I have done just that, and I'll just go on and cut this pattern. Now when cutting this on your fabric, remember you need 2 pieces for your front. You need to cut 2. Now as you can see I have cut my back pattern on my fabric and I cut out 2, and I have also ironed my fusible interfacing on my fabric. Now when cutting out the lining for the front and also the back, make sure to reduce your pattern by 1 inch. The lining has to be shorter than the fabric by 1 inch, as you can see me doing for the back pattern, and also make sure you do the same for the front lining. As you can see, I have also cut out my front pattern on my fabric, and as you can see I also have 2 for my fabric, and this fusible interfacing is called hairstay. It helps to give your fabric a little bit of weight. Now here is how you cut your lining and facing for your front. I am going to be showing you 2 ways. Now just take 2 inches right here on your shoulder part, and also take 2 inches or 3 at the bottom part of your jacket. Now just connect the lines together. Now once you connect your line, you should have this. Now I am going to show you another way to do this by just following your dart line. Now I'm just going to scratch this out. Now next thing you're going to do right now is just take that middle dart line all the way down, and I'll just highlight where to cut out, and we're just going to go on and just cut that out. Now I will just go on and cut 2 of this and also 2 of this, and as you can see I have cut on my lining and also for my facing. It's always best to use another fabric for your facing, just like I have done, and the side parts will be your lining while the collar parts will be the facing. Also make sure to leave 1/2 inch allowance for joining when cutting on your fabric. 1/2 inch to join the 2 pieces together. Now for the sleeve, I have a sleeve tutorial, a very detailed tutorial. You can go and watch that if you don't know how to draft your sleeve pattern. We're going to be using the normal sleeve pattern to do this jacket, and now I am going to, all you have to do is to add 1/2 inch seam allowance at the top, and also at the bottom you need to add your hemming allowance for your wrist. Now you're going to go on and cut out 2 pieces of your sleeve on your fabric. You're going to have 2 pieces, and also make sure that the lining of your sleeve is shorter by 1 inch. As you can see, make sure that every lining is shorter by 1 inch. So guys, in another video I will be showing you guys how to sew your jacket in a very simple and easy way. And if you like this video, do give it a thumbs up, and hope to see you in more exciting and fun tutorials. Bye.